Go.
This is Mr. CashFlowGenie.com coming to you live on tape from the not-so-sunny and relatively chilly Providence, Rhode Island, here at the historic Biltmore Hotel, where myself and about 100 other people were gathered to hear David Lindahl and Jonathan Rozek launch the six-figure second income book. Came out about 6 weeks ago or so. And we are gathered around this beautiful conference setting to hear from some of the top thought leaders on the concept of information marketing and internet marketing thrown in, as well as a couple other things. I'm chatting with one of the attendees, RJ Horwitz. RJ, nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure, Mark.
Okay.
Thank you.
And RJ has some very, very unique skills, some very unique knowledge and expertise that I think real estate investors would want to take some notice of. So RJ, let me ask you this question. What is your unique spin on all this real estate mess that's going on? You have some unique skills here. Just tell me what they are briefly.
Well, I approach real estate through an economic eye. So I'm looking at the cycles, I'm looking at the demographics of what's involved in real estate. And through that approach over the last 5.5 years, we've built a business in short sales because of the fact that as the market imploded, there was a big mess, and the mess we all heard through Congress and TARP and saving the banks and foreclosures and people being removed from their homes through lawsuits, which are the foreclosures. And it's a situation where we said, okay, how can we facilitate commerce? Because commerce has stopped. And the question here is, I'm involved I understand economics, it's what I do. I understand real estate, it's what I do. I've been in banking and finance, licensed brokerage for the last 23 years. That's what I do. And the question is, how do we unravel, reverse engineer these mortgages and get people out of those mortgages that they can no longer afford? They couldn't afford them going in, they just didn't know about it.
Of course.
And so what we've done is put together a program for short sales where we'll buy your house, but we negotiate the price instead of with you, directly with the bank. So you have a $400,000 mortgage, we turn around and get it we buy it for $200,000, and then we turn around and resell it to somebody else for $250,000 after we fix it.
Wonderful, wonderful.
That's what we do. So I look at that market.
So you look at that market, so you help that market, but because you're approaching this, I'm hearing a perspective coming out that you're approaching it from demographics and trends and actual hard numbers.
That's right.
Is your approach what you might call contrarian to what
absolutely
other people might be doing?
It is. We're contrarian in thought because of the fact that most economists are not trained to look at demographics. And what I mean by demographics is the baby boomers, the Bob Hopes of the generation, if you will, coming back home from World War II, who got married, had 3.2 kids, a dog, and a station wagon, and went to work. And raising these children, they required certain pieces that stimulated the economy. They needed baby food, diapers, then they needed preschools, then they needed more clothes, and as they grew up, so did the economy, because the economy had to support all those pieces that catered to the baby boomers.
Of course.
The baby boomers have now married and had maybe not 3 kids, but maybe 1 or 2. So there's another dip. But here are the baby boomers. The baby boomers are now looking at, or have gone to a bigger house. They started with a little house, started a home, they went to a bigger house, and now their kids are off to college or that they're getting married, they're looking for a retirement home which is smaller. So and these take years, of course, through the cycle. So what's happened now in our economic time with the bust, the bubble, the foreclosure, is that it's going to take approximately, depending on which market you're in, 7 to 17 years before we actually come back to a place where the market starts picking back up and reaches a place where it might be worth where the values are today.
Well, so with that being said, we have to pay attention to what's happening in our local markets, because
absolutely,
there are these microeconomies, if I'm not mistaken,
that's correct,
all over the country, and depending upon where you are in your economy, you might be exhibiting something 10 miles away that's not 10 miles,
best example,
where you are.
Best example of that is that we're in Massachusetts, we're in New England. Boston is going to recover much faster than a western city or town like Athol. Okay. Athol may take 20 years to recover, whereas Boston may take 4 years. Go to New York City. It may recover in 2.5 years. It may be bouncing getting higher.
Okay.
In San Francisco, it's going to be even higher, even faster because they're out of real estate.
Okay.
Meaning that there isn't any more raw land, so they're not building, they're buying, tearing down, and rebuilding on top of that.
Wow.
So it depends on which market that you're in.
Okay. So wrapping up, with this event you just came from,
Yes.
what are you going to be able to take away and use in your business right now?
My takeaway from this is that there are specific systems which will allow me to be able to step back from my day-to-day operation instead of working in the operation. And we're in 5 different states, and we're working 7 days a week, and we're pulling our hair out to be able to work on our business, because we can then delegate to different services and different companies, as well as to be able to get our message out to the world that there is a solution to this foreclosure fiasco, debacle, whatever you want to label it, and that we are part of this solution, and that you could certainly be able to be in contact with us to be able to do that.
And what's the best way to reach you guys?
I think the best way is going to be through our website, which is cobblestonecapitalusa.com. And you can find us on the web under foreclosures, and we suggest that you look in the Worcester area, Worcester, Massachusetts, because that's where we're domiciled.
Sure.
So it'll come up.
Okay. Georgia business in several states, so we'll definitely be paying attention to you.
Thank you.
And stay in touch with you and helping you get the word out. Because
Thank you very much.
Creating win-win situations.
Very
this
much.
is Mr. Cash Flow Genie here. Just been speaking with Jay Horwitz of Worcester, Mass. And CobblestoneCapitalUSA.com. This is Mr. Cash Flow Genie signing off.